Hello, everybody. We are on page 24, and today is kind of going to be a heavy hit on vocabulary. But we are, whoops, there goes my phone. We're talking today about composite figures. And sometimes when there's a word you're not familiar with, it helps to write it out phonetically, meaning. Okay, my recording cut out, which was unfortunate. So I left off saying that sometimes when there's a word you're not familiar with, it helps to write it phonetically, meaning how it sounds. So this was supposed to be a drawing of an ear with like the little sound thing. It doesn't really look like that, but that was what it was supposed to be. So you say this as composite, composite, close, like dog paw. Anyway, so write that down so you know how to refer to it. All right, composite figures. First of all, when we say composite figures, we're talking about odd shapes that we don't have a formula specifically to find their area. Um, they are called composite figures because they are composed of or made up of figures that we are used to, that we know what to do with. So we might have, like, if you think about a house is composed of a square and a triangle on top of it. So the whole thing would be called a composite figure because it's composed of two different shapes. So to start with, here is an example of a composite figure. And don't, well, I'll just take that off. Okay, maybe I'll draw another one so you have a fresh viewpoint. But in this shape up here that I drew, the composite figure is where the green outline is. So this weird sort of pointy L turned on its side, I don't know what you want to call it. Okay, that's a composite figure. We don't have a formula for the area of that shape. We don't even have a name for that shape. Okay, so we can now look at where I put in the dashes. I was showing how that figure is composed of figures that we are used to. So I see a rectangle here, and a triangle right here. And I had you draw an arrow to the composite figure so that you can remember what's a composite figure. Oh yeah, this is an example of a composite figure. So then when I want to find the area of a composite figure, it is relatively easy to do because I just use what I've already learned about rectangles or parallelograms or triangles, and I find the area of the individual pieces and then I add it all together. So in this case, I could find this area, add it to this area, add it to this area, and then I would have the area of the composite figure. Unfortunately, I wrote on both of my packets that I had to show examples on. So you're just going to put up with old writing. So to begin with, we'll put that there. Not that you can't know the answer, it's just easier if you don't right away. So one way that I would, when we start with composite figures, we start with this grid paper, which is nice because then you can literally like count the squares. So I can count, sometimes it helps to count while you color or just scribble. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You put 16 over here so I remember that. Okay? Next, I'm going to count all of the complete full whole squares I can. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 complete squares. All right. Now I can't forget about those halvesies. So what I often do is I look for pieces that if I combine them, I could make a full square and I pair them up together. This is like the e-harmony of shapes. We're matching things up. We have a half here and a half here, so that makes 1. A half here and a half here, that makes 2. Half here and a half here, that makes 3. Half here and a half here, that makes 4. When I add all these up, I end up with 32 units squared, meaning If they don't give you like centimeters, meters, you just say units, and you could say square units or units squared. Another way I might go about this is, here's my spare packet that I also wrote on, is to divide the shape up into figures that we're used to, and then find the area the way we're used to finding it. So I might say, all right, here's a rectangle. That rectangle is a 2x8, so the area of it is 16. And over here, I have a triangle. The base of that triangle is 8. The height of that triangle is 4. So the area of that triangle is also 16. And then I do 16 plus 16 and get 32 units squared. Either way I do it though, there you have your answer.